Hello and welcome to This Time Africa. As you know, This Time Africa showcases our African partners, our African friends, African men and women, our culture, emerging leaders, politicians, everything in the dish at This Time Africa. But the question always is, what's on this time? Today, our clock faces a woman who is from America. She's from the USA. And this is a woman who has proposed that she wants to see change, developmental change, and vocational training, education, and all in Africa. And I'll speak in the person of the founder of Mission and Movement, Ms. Cheril Pipia. Welcome to the show, Cheril.
Thank you so much for
You look
having
amazing.
me.
I love your
So
glasses, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you're doing. I am truly amazed at what you're doing. So tell me a little bit, what sparked off your interest in creating the Mission and Movement organization? What sparked it off?
Sure. So I had been doing volunteer vacations since about the past decade or so, and I would travel to Africa, and I fell in love with Africa, with the
Great.
people, with the culture. And as I spent more time there, I recognized the need to build a program around dignity of the people and to finish projects. And what I was witnessing was a lot of great work being done, but just not that completion factor and really not building the relationship. So I wanted to go and start my own work, and that's what I've done through Mission and Movement.
And how long has this been?
So I started Mission and Movement in 2017, but City Chick on a Mission, which is our 501c3, I started in 2014.
Wow, that's been
Yes.
long. That's been long. So, what countries have you been to in Africa?
So to travel, I've been to quite a few. I've been to Kenya, Tanzania, Morocco, Ghana, Ivory Coast, around that area. But as far
So
as
just so the next one will be like Sierra Leone, Cameroon, where we come
yes,
from.
Sierra Leone and Cameroon, they're both on my list. And just looking for ways to expand into other parts. Africa overall just has a near and dear place to me. So that's just where I've started.
Okay, and so the operations right now are in.
Yeah, so in Kenya, we focus in Kibera, which is, as you know, the largest slum in Africa. And we are in the process of building a school in Kisi, which is about 7 hours outside of Nairobi. So that will be really exciting
Oh
work.
wow, yes.
And in Ghana, we focus in New Akradi, which is the Senchi Ferry region, which is more of a village-like setting.
Wow. Okay. So we're going to talk about these projects, but I want our listeners to hear something. You talk about a purposeful experience. You talk about giving dignity back to the people, and it's so important for me. You know, as a leader, I am very much interested in how we can restore this dignity to people. So, what do you think that your mission is doing to create that movement of dignity in the people?
So I think it's twofold.
Okay.
One is for people to recognize how you live your life with purpose.
Okay.
I think sometimes too often we put that in the background of what is our purpose and identifying what that purpose is. For me, my purpose holistically is just humanity. I
Great.
care about people, all walks of life, any area. As far as the dignity, I found when I was traveling, whether to Africa or other parts of the world through my volunteer vacations, that there was a sense of a lack of community. It was you were giving money and you weren't connected to the cause, and therefore the receivers weren't connected to you. And so I really felt that it was important to find a way to create a relationship with folks for them to understand this wasn't because I thought that they needed something. I believe that we're here to just help each other and empower each other. And if I could be a resource for that and connect them with donors that are halfway around the world, if I could do that in a way that felt personal to both sides and made that connection just human to human level, forget everything else, that that would be like my end goal. And through doing our work, I feel, we're on that journey,
Exactly.
right? People
Yes.
don't expect me to come back and they see me year after year in the slum
And
or,
is that where you talk about connection with the heart? Because I was
yeah.
reading something and you say connecting with the heart.
Mm,
So you're not just going there as somebody who wants to help to build a school, but
mm,
you're actually connecting with your heart. And I
mm.
think that's why you keep going year after year.
Yes.
Would I?
And
Uh-huh.
it's just, I feel leading with your heart won't lead you
Yes.
astray, right?
Yes.
If your intention is pure and your goals are pure for what you're looking to do. I also recognize that a lot of the communities I go into have a lot of other NGOs that could be working with them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they have a stereotype of the relationships that they've built, and it's
Hmm.
very programmatic.
Yes.
And I want my approach to be real. I want
Yes.
it to be like from my heart to their heart and to learn from each other
I
and to
can feel your passion
understand.
even as you
Yeah.
speak. I can feel the reality even as you speak. And I'm sure that's why you said the experiences can be different and they can be fresh.
Yes,
Tell
yes.
me about that a little bit.
So, I find every time I go, even if it's to the same village or visiting with the same families, I'm a different person every time I'm entering back because I've grown or evolved over that time period.
Yes.
And so have the communities and the people. And to see how connected they feel to our projects or what they want to share with me is a constant evolution. And that experience of newness and not having complacency, I think, breeds excitement in all of us.
It does. It does. Isn't that why, in fact, we want people to feel that experience of having their dignity back? And like I said to you yesterday, who knows one life that you will touch,
Hmm.
one life that you will make a difference in? Who knows what that person will be tomorrow? So I mean, again, I want to say I really, really doff my hat to you. You've been doing
Honestly.
this for 10 years and it doesn't seem like you have been. It doesn't seem like you have been. And I like what you said also. We're going to go into the project, but I want to
Sure.
just, let people feel your heart, because I can tell, like you say, it's not the bureaucracy, it's just your heart. It's
Yeah.
Cheril herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said that love, compassion, and dignity can transform the
Hmm.
world. I know
I,
it, but how so? From your own
I,
perspective.
so, as you know, I work in corporate America, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that corporate America has a certain stigma around it, right? Being
Mm.
led with egos, etc.
Yes.
And for me, I'm a different force in corporate America, one that's taken social good throughout my, 2 decades of working and have always been recognized for that as a different type of leader. And I think whether leading a large corporate organization or the projects in Africa, just compassion and relating to one another is by far the most basic principle we
That's
should
right.
have.
That's right. That's right.
And love, like we should be connected to each other. Sometimes these barriers that are up, if I'm not from your same background, or
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not, I didn't grow up with your same challenges. One doesn't know my challenges. I can't perceive someone else's. But if I go in with love to the situation and received as such,
Yes.
I feel that that just transcends, for all parties
It
involved
does. It
and
really
leads
does.
us to make mutual success and impact together. So
Yes.
the impact isn't one sided or another, it's like a community
So
force.
I'm not just coming to help you, but
Yes.
we are building a
Hmm.
relationship and a community together.
Yeah. And I found it's been so important to listen, like not to tell, well, we should build this or we should do this.
Oh,
It's right.
yes. Yeah.
It's, I might have ideas of a program, but I
Yes.
think the listening part for them to share with me, like this is what we need, this is what's important.
And you're saying them referring
Oh, sorry.
to the people that you
Yes.
work with, the
Yes.
people that you are
Hmm.
doing. Okay, yes. Go
And
ahead.
yeah, so whether it's like folks who are just in the village of which we're serving, or their children go to a school, or it's a female that we're trying to come up with vocational training, it's important for me to learn from them.
From them, yes. I think it's better because then you are able to understand what their needs are, not just what we want to do for the
Exactly.
people. Yes, I think that's extremely important. I also want to talk about one thing. We were talking about the commonality between the millennials
Yeah.
and the baby boomers.
Yeah.
Tell me
Yes.
about it. Because I
Yes.
kept thinking about it like,
Yes.
I thought there were not many commonalities, but
Yes.
just listening to you and the projects that you're doing. Let's share that a little bit.
So I found it so interesting throughout my networks and just conversations and panels I've been doing. It's that the same question comes up. It's how do I live with purpose, or how do I identify my values and live them throughout my life? And it's interesting because baby boomers are at this stage where they identified so much with their work that they waited for their, I call it their plan B, to give back or to donate in a way, and to identify their purpose, because so much of their purpose was work. They were providing for a family,
Families, yes.
right? And the mentality was different as their careers were growing.
Yeah.
Millennials, on the other hand, right, are very interested in corporate or finance. They might find them a little bit stodgy or old, right? Like
Yes.
in their beliefs, and are coming forward and saying, well, it's so important for me to give back. How do I understand the social good or cause of a company? And so you have two sets of this paradigm where people are trying to service them differently. And at the end, they all want purpose, they all want to live with value, and they all want to feel like their life
And
is making an
whatever
impact.
way we're coming from, whatever way we're going, I think that everybody needs to find their purpose. And just discovering yours is humanity, making humanity smile, I would say. Just giving back to humanity. It makes your life so easy when you know what your purpose is. I think that is very, very important. So I'm going to talk about the Kenyan Star. When we come back, we're going to talk about the projects. But I want us, before we go to break, you even had the Kenyan Star write about you. I mean, coming from the US, because I want to tie this into the fact that nothing is too small.
Right.
And how selfless you are, and how proud of you that the Kenya newspaper would write about you and recognize. What did you do? What was it?
So I think, when we are going about our trips, we obviously have campaigns that go out, and the fact that it was picked up by the Kenyan Star was
I know.
wildly
It is.
amazing.
It's a big thing. Don't minimize it.
Believe it. And I think, to your point, it was about an individual girl who started her own nonprofit that's come back year after year with the same purpose of building upon the community and the projects that I have. And I think it's about the dignity, the compassion, and the returning that really resonated with them.
Yes. So the dignity, the compassion, and the returning, and again, there is a connection of the heart.
Yeah.
There is a restoration and the building. Well, I'm glad that the Kenyan Star could pick you out because if I had a newspaper, I would pick you out any day, like I picked you out for This Time Africa. Returning the dignity and connecting the hearts together is where we are just taking a short break, and we'll be right back with Cheril Pipia. She's the founder of Mission and Movement, and we will be right back to enjoy this conversation.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to talk about your nonprofit organization? Do you want to talk about your culture? Introducing the online web TV, Africa Today. We are live every Sunday at 3 p.m. Our shows are 3 p.m. Sunday Guests with Elaine Pierre. 4 p.m. This Time Africa with San Natilda Banga. 5 p.m. Transformation Point with Dr. Natalie Kamsudomo. 5:30 Cyber Connect with Jean Bosco Fogham. You can watch us live at the same time on 4 platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and using the Africa Today app. Download our app today for Android or Apple. Promote your business today. For more information, go to www.africtoday.com. Afric Today, the best of digital TV.
Back in the studio with Cheril Pipia. She's the founder of Mission and Movement, and we are talking about not just connecting the heart, but the projects. And so this is where we are going to tell you about the different projects that she has done along with her partners. So tell me about the projects in Kenya. What's going on in Kenya?
So in Kenya, we sponsor a school called Shine Kibera. It's a primary school with 70 students. We have taken care of the funding. We've built a teacher sustainability program. We've hosted educational field trips. Over the past 2 years, we've had a tremendous amount of impact on this community. These are students who can't afford any of the other schools, so really no school fees at all.
Wow.
And we've worked with the parents to develop almost like a give back program where maybe they clean or they cook to help the school. So I'm really excited about that. We also have 5 scholarships for secondary schools, so where we take the children from Kibera that have gotten, good grades on their exams, and we send them to secondary schools. So this is the first time many of these children are even able to leave Kibera. So imagine just one environment to totally different. As I mentioned, we are building a school in Kisii, which is a really large project. So I anticipate that will probably be a 3 to 5 year project. It's $150,000 to build. But we have a plot of land donated. We've started to make the bricks, and when I go back in October, we'll lay down the foundation of what will be an amazing school. Our goal is to take the children from Shine Kibera and then have them go to secondary school in this open, clean environment in a way to foster a different type
Give
of
them
learning.
a dignity, maybe for the
Yes.
first time, just getting them out of that slum to
Yeah.
this place. And you say it's going to be what, a high school?
So it'll be between junior high and high.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So
Yeah.
between
It's a big
that,
project.
it is a big project. It is.
And just like learning to work with locals. So for all of our projects, we employ locals. We don't bring in outside, like contractors. We have men or women work alongside to learn about the construction and learn about the building. So it really does become a community.
Do you understand that you're doing something big in Africa? Because you know
I'm
what?
trying to
I
do
mean, just education is. I can't say much about education. It's just it should be the way of life, and I think it is life. When you educate a child, I think you are giving back not only to the family but to the community. So
Yeah, and I've been so surprised too. I don't know if surprised is the right word, but I've learned so much about, in so many of these communities, if teachers don't get paid, they're volunteers, so they're not as committed. And so really building that sustainability for them.
Yes.
And, to my comment, treating them with the dignity to pay for the salary. They are
yes.
educating the youth. And in order to build upon that, it's been really important.
That's very good. Oh my God, that's awesome. So is that where you have busy kids, or is that in Ghana?
Yeah, so it's, City Chick the Bead
City
Shop.
Chick, yeah.
Yeah,
City Chick Creations.
yeah. So that's in Ghana.
Okay.
And, I started that back when I had lost one of my corporate jobs. And I said, the first paycheck I get, I'm going to help someone start their own business. And this was a gentleman I had met doing one of my volunteer vacations. So we started a small, just vocational training bead handbag shop. We built a school there. It's called Peace Perfect School in New Arcati. And one of the things I'm most proud about there is that in this region of Ghana is one where I had visited, and a number of buildings were never completed by other NGOs. And it's really what sparked me to start my own.
The
City Chick
completion of projects.
Yeah, it's just the
Yes.
completion.
The completion of projects.
Right.
Yes.
And coming back to learn how to build upon them, right? As you can imagine, I'm managing it from here. I have people there. I have to do my own due diligence because I have donors that I want to make sure their money is going to
Yes.
the right cause. So it's been learning, fits and stops, but ultimately we're constantly building and evolving, which is really exciting.
So those projects are going kind of simultaneously in Kenya and in Ghana. They are. All right. So I am sure that you're not the only person doing it. Who would
Yeah.
you say you have some partners or sponsors that are supporting? your
So
project?
my sponsors wildly have been my network,
Okay.
right? So it's been pretty self-contained for a while, and
Okay.
we're talking now with different types of organizations to see about sponsorships.
Okay.
Whether it's something like a BioLite about bringing solar energy,
Yes.
or Crayola to, one of my favorite stories of when I realized the impact you could have was I brought crayons to Ghana, and the child broke the crayon in half. I was so upset. And I was like, how could you break my new crayons that I'm giving to you? And it was to share with the person
share.
sitting next to him. I like ball crying that night. But it was like the moment where I realized, like, you have no idea.
You have no idea.
What you're doing, the impact, and what people need.
I hope that people are listening, because I am exactly where you are. Like, I would ball cry right now
Yeah.
on live TV, and I don't care if people see my tears because this touches my heart so much. It touches my heart. Let's pause here and tell the viewers and listeners your website,
Yeah.
how to reach you,
Sure.
people who want to assist you, what they can do.
Sure.
Because, not only Americans, but how about the Kenyans themselves,
Yes.
probably who are in the diaspora, the
Yeah.
Ghanaians who are in the diaspora who may have no idea of what you're doing. Please
Yeah.
talk to them.
So you can definitely visit the website. It's www.missionandmovement.com. On there, you'll find out about our current missions. You'll find out about my focus on education, community development, vocational training, the emphasis on staying with people throughout their life cycle, which was really important to me. You'll find ways to get in touch, to send me an email, to call me. I want more connections, and I want to expand and do more. So, I finally have recognized that the more I get out there and the more I connect with people, the more impact we'll be able to have.
Very definitely so. So where do you have this vocational training school?
So right now we're doing it in Ghana,
Oh, in
and when
Ghana.
I go, it's been really interesting because we're in this process of working with designers and designing patterns that I'll bring back to Ghana, using kente and the textiles. I just love the vibrancy, the process, and the mission. So our ultimate goal will be to have a capsule product line, hopefully in the next couple of years, come out.
Oh, that's nice.
And then in Kibera, we're starting a vocational training, and a group of women, when I go in October, will share with me what they think would be a successful program. So I'm really excited to hear their thoughts.
And all of these, you do it when you have a vacation.
Yes.
So you don't have a vacation, I must say. So in case you don't know, listeners or viewers, listen. So when Cheril takes her vacation, that's what she does, okay? She doesn't go to the Bahamas or anything. She goes right there to Africa and to do all of these things.
Yes.
Shake my hand. Congrats. I really am proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So, is there a mentorship program you're doing as well?
So we have an ambassador program
Okay.
where we've partnered with certain schools. So we had a program with Sacred Heart Catholic School where we designed an elective class with them, and it was about
Is it
teaching
Sacred Heart
kindness.
Catholic School? Is
Yes.
it here in the U.S.?
Yes, that was based out in California.
Oh,
We
I see.
ran like
Okay.
a 3-year program where it was teaching kids about kindness both locally and globally. So one of our main missions is to make the world feel a little bit smaller. And so they had a pen pal program with the kids in Cabera, had helped raise money during the fires, etc. So we have that type of program. And then mentorships, of course, for adults as well. So trying to connect teachers to teachers, business to business, journalists to
Amazing.
journalists. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, we're here. We're journalists, so if you need us,
Well, I
we
was
can
thinking
partner.
about that because we also started in Shine Cabera, a young journalist program for the kids, and they're going around showcasing Cabera in a different light. So it's been wonderful to see how much they've done.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we
Oh
call
my
it Shine Cabera TV.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good. All right, I know we have just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Just share once more with the people the heart of mission and movement, and the 3-part fold that you would say the mission entails. The 3-part fold and
Sure.
the community development and education. and all
Sure.
that.
So, mission and movement is about leading from the heart and creating the impact that we're all capable of creating. It's important that we focus not on one specific area, but the education, community development, vocational training. Through my travels and being there and spending time, I learned that building a school allows a teacher to have a job, allows a child to get an education, allows a mom to be able to work, which is why then the vocational training becomes important, or if school is out, they need a place to go. And, really our goal is to connect people throughout the world in a way that is personable from the heart and allows you to have impact every day.
Every day.
Every
day. And how do you drown the noise?
Yeah.
How do you drown the noise? You were talking about drowning the noise and the norms of society. How can we help one woman as we wrap up to drown the noise of the society? One woman who is feeling discouraged and don't know how to do that.
I think if we all just go back to basics and remember we're just human beings to human beings,
Yes.
and that we're capable of so much, that there is a universe far bigger than you or I that gave us a reason to be here, and we should never take that for granted, and we should try to do our best to fulfill whatever purpose that is. And when you get bogged down, take time with yourself to recognize it's way bigger than you.
Take time with yourself to recognize that the universe is way bigger than you, but yet still you can make a difference. This is where we wrap it up today. I've been speaking with Cheril Pipia. I want to be sure. And she's the founder of Mission and Movement. It's been great. We're talking about humanity and dignity and helping the less fortunate. Well, we bring the curtain down right here on This Time Africa. It airs on Sundays at 4 p.m. Please, we do have 4 platforms that you can watch us. In fact, matter of fact, now, if you just have we also are on Amazon, so get your smart TV and watch us on Amazon. We're on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, and you can download the app, africtoday.com, and you will find us there. Well, it's been good to have you. I will see you next time. This is Sia Matilda Banga, your host. We're here on This Time Africa.